Good evening, everybody. I'm Pierre Roberge, the Daily Trader. It is February 11th, and we are going to take a look at many stocks suggested by my YouTube members. So you can all watch this special request video, but only my YouTube members can suggest me stock to analyze. So let's go right into it. Let's first take a look at Palantir. So Palantir, we have been following this stock every single day of the week. So I am including Palantir in the special request video, even though it's not a special request per se. So Palantir was down 43 cents, 3.17% at 13.13. Post-market, we are up 5 cents. So Palantir is not doing so bad compared to the rest of the stock market. I say this because it is still above support right here. So it's still above support. Yes, stochastic is not at 60. It's not moving back up yet, but at least it does not look as bad. It went and touched the support perfectly. What is going to happen next week, I don't know, but at least it's maintaining itself. And if you remember, this week we've talked about the fact that Palantir looks like it's going to make a W, but this little candle today is destroying this argument. But let's see, if Palantir crosses 1442, that's a go for me. And if Palantir goes lower than 1194, that's a go for me too. Okay. Also, in terms of indicators, stochastic at 27, the MACD still crossed over bullish, so we still have that. RSI is slowing down a little bit, and DMI was getting a little bit better, but is getting a little bit worse today. So next, let's look at Zillow. Okay, this is the first time I'm looking at this stock, so give me a little minute to try to understand where this thing is going. I tend to start by looking at the weekly chart to get the broader view of where things are at. So you see how just putting a line like this starts to make sense. So we have a support right here. I couldn't put it here. So I tried to put the support where it's going to touch the most candles. So here we are starting to coming back to this support here, and look at the volume. The volume is really increasing right here. So something is starting to happen here. So people are coming back into the stock. A stock can drop without volume. It can just drop without volume. But to really climb up, it needs to have some volume. But the fact that we have some volume does not necessarily mean that it's ripe to go up. But it means that there's a change happening. Congestion zone is happening. So the sellers are getting tired and the buyers are coming in. This is what this looks like a little bit. So if I draw a line like this, look at how perfectly this is looking right here. So we are close to starting to breaking this huge resistance. So let me do it like this. So this is the weekly chart. Let's go on the daily chart. Okay. Earnings seem to have been pretty good. 54% surprise in terms of earnings, and in terms of revenue, a 29% surprise. So thank you. Thank you to my member who suggested Zillow, because this is looking like a very interesting stock. So we are still making, let me see here. Let me try something. So we seem to have a little wedge here. Look at this here. Look at how this is fitting pretty well right here. So we are having a little bit of a wedge. That's fine. And we had a great volume today. We have great volume today, and we have a gap up right here. And then we have on the daily chart, we have stochastic that shot up over 60. I think there's a real possibility that this thing can break this resistance right here. So we are going to have a little bit of a pause here at 65. So 65 is going to be a little bit of a slowdown area, because we touched this area 3 times and we could not break it and came back down to it. So to be really sure that things are really taking off, I would wait until we break 65. But if you are a little bit more, if you like risk a little bit more, then you can enter right now and maybe catch a little bit of a ride up to 61 and to 65. But what can happen is that we can have a pullback right here at 65, and then we can start treating this as support. And this is something like this that could be happening. Always make sure that the stochastic is over 60. This is what I do. Stochastic over 60 to me is an indication that we can almost enter a stock if we don't have a big support that's too close, because supports are more important than any indicators. So right now we have this resistance right here. Did I say support? I meant resistance. So we have this resistance right here, and we have another one here. So please keep that in mind. Once we break these two, then I think this could go somewhere. This could really go somewhere. So thank you for suggesting this stock. Okay, let's go see at Google. Okay, yeah, so Google has been going very steeply. Let me draw a few trend lines here. Yeah, something like this makes sense. We see that we touched here and we used it as support right here almost. So this is something that was a nice move up, but now things have been accelerating a lot. So if I do something like this, yeah, I'm going to do something like this. So in terms of support, this is what I see. So very steep. So Google has been climbing very steeply. I think I'm going to do it like this since March 2020. Well, pretty much like many other stocks. And now we broke down below this, and now we are having a little bit of a pullback, but the pullback is below 60. So on the weekly chart, this pullback is not really believable yet. Let me switch to the daily chart. Okay. Okay, so this is starting to look like a congestion zone also at the same time. So we have this support here at 3010. We have this resistance at 3010. Also, we have this congestion zone at 2660. 2660, we have a congestion zone right here, and we came back down to it. So far, we have been in the congestion zone since July, going up and down, and now we are down. But we have a little wick here, so we bounced on this today, and we seem to have broken this big upward support. So we have broken this support, and we are going into a congestion zone. Stochastic is under 60. So to me, I would be careful below 2660. So 2660, if we break this, I think we can start a downtrend. Let's look at Sonos. Okay, Sonos. Well, okay, yeah, it had a good run now from $7 to 45. That was a nice run. Here, this is the support area. So we touched it here, went far from it, and now are coming back down to it here. Pause a little bit here, then we are down and we are pulling back up. This is really a resistance now. So we are pulling back up to it, but because stochastic is not very strong, I have a hard time believing this pullback. Let's go see on the daily chart if things are a little bit different. Okay, yeah, I don't like stocks that do this. We have this decreasing resistance right here. And also we have another one. We have another one right here. I'm going to do it here to touch the most candles. So there's a very slow downtrend right here, and there's a steeper downtrend right here. And now we are coming back up to this resistance at around $28, and we have a hard time breaking this. Look at this. We have a wick here that even touches this one here, and we are pushed back down. We're trying again, and we are pushed back down. We have stochastic at 67, but as I mentioned, resistance is always more important. So stochastic is there, but so far the resistance has been stronger. So I would watch this very carefully. To me, this is not long until we break we we break, of course, this resistance, that resistance too, and also higher than this one here, higher than $30. So above $30, and let me be a bit more conservative. 30.44. 30.44, then okay, I'm gonna believe this. I could believe a move from 30.44 to this resistance back up here. I could believe that. Okay, let's look at Airbnb. Okay, this one is not too bad. So we have this increasing support right here. So this is an uptrend from the lows. So the lows are getting higher and higher, but the highs are also getting lower. So I think I want to do this here. So this is a cyclical stock going up and down. So we had the move down right here. So we had one here and then we broke it. So I think I want to express it this way. This is a channel here. There was a channel right here. Okay, let me do everything. So we have a second channel approximately here. Things change a little bit. So it was a little bit higher here, but then it came like this here. So these are all support lines. Should be able to multi-select. Yeah, so we touched 209, came back to 137, and now it looks like we are going back up. We have stochastic that's pretty strong, MACD crossed over, DMI crossed over, RSI over 50. This is not too bad. We have this resistance here that you need to be careful of because look at this, boom, and we are touching it again. So maybe we are going to have some disturbance right here. We can come down a little bit. And once we break this 176.58, then the coast is clear until this point here. So maybe 204. Last but not least, NVIDIA. NVIDIA, a great company. I like NVIDIA. So I had analyzed this in the past a little bit. Yeah, big trend up right here, big move down, but we seem to be stabilizing pretty well on 209.49. So 209.49. I should start, I'm gonna write it down here. 209.59. And now we have this downtrend from here. We have this downtrend that I'm going to do until this point here. So this is a resistance like this. And we are pulling back here, but look at this big move down today. So the big move down today put stochastic below 60. And we have the earnings call February 16th. So maybe things are going to change, but unless we break this resistance, the stock is not going anywhere. Is not going to go anywhere. And depending on their earnings call, the stock could be doing like this. Yeah. So I would wait so to me, above this is going to be bullish. Of course, we need stochastic over 60 and above 209 and above this big support here is bearish. Yes, there is still money to be made. If you are on a shorter time frame, then you can try to catch some swings here. But if you are on the daily chart, then you should wait for this support break and this resistance break. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing. You can become a YouTube member if you want to suggest me stocks for me to do on this and all special request Friday videos. I'm going to wish you a great weekend. We are going to see each other Sunday for my members and Monday for everybody else. And I'm going to say à la prochaine.